Let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be expect, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I'm talking about y'all. You know I'm talking about y'all. Fix me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up? Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope everybody had a great Saturday, a productive Saturday, all those good things. So yes, yesterday we were live and we've been talking about this D4vid situation all week. And we were talking about a lot of things that have been out there. What's fake, what's factual, what is, who isn't. And so I found a couple of articles, and again, this is still probably not going to cover every single thing, because like Tracy said, baby, it's been a lot going on, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I anticipate that there's going to be an indictment and an arrest soon. Now, I'm not saying who getting indicted. I'm not saying who getting arrested, but I anticipate something coming down the pike soon. So I found a couple of articles. One article speaks to D4vid and his rise to fame, air quote. And then I found another article on this young lady, Celeste. Now, I did find different things where the family has said different things and all of that kind of stuff. But I want to pull these two. And again, as more information comes out, we'll continue to cover it, right? So for those who are like, what you talking about? What's going on? The singer D4vid, a young lady by the name of Celeste Hernandez was found brutally unalived in a car registered to him, a car that was abandoned and it was impounded. We know that since then they have executed a search warrant on a house that he is also believed to have lived in, that is the lease or is rented in his manager's name. We know that his tour has since been canceled. He had new music coming out, I believe, and his tour has since been canceled. And it's just a lot of other things swirling. Like when did he know this person? How long did he know this person? Yesterday we read a statement from the people who manage or who are moderators on his Discord. And if I'm being honest, and I said this yesterday, if I'm going to be honest, baby, it sounds that statement didn't do him any favors, because if I could pick that statement apart and come away with a certain inference, I'm sure other people could as well, right? I'll read the statement again before we get off of here. Tracy, remind me to read the statement again, please, and thank you. And hey, everybody coming in. Nep, hey, boo. I don't know if you're still here or not, but Nep was saying he's been listening to his music. And if you listen to the words of his music, he said it sounds almost like a confession or a how-to manual. Now, I honestly haven't listened to his music, so I can't speak to that. But Nep said if you listen to his words of his music. So I do know that like he's trending on like TikTok and stuff like that. Like his music is trending. I'm sure people are trying to figure the same thing out that we're trying to figure out. From his actions, he wants this outcome, the fame behind it, and being idolized. That's what you think? Oh, okay. Well, let's go to it. I don't know. I mean, you might know something I don't know. But let's get into it. So this first article is from Us Weekly, and it's titled, Who is D4vid, right? And 5 things you need to know. So let's read this article, and then the second article deals about Celeste. I'm sure some of the information will overlap, But again, I just want us to try to get some basics about who we're talking about. So it says, while David Singer has been releasing music since 2021, he recently raised eyebrows, yada, yada, yada. That's about what happened. The musician has not publicly addressed the situation. Police officials are involved in the investigation. So, number one, where is he from? He is from Queens, New York. How old is he? He is 20. So he's not very old. That doesn't mean he's innocent or guilty. It just means he's not very old. 20 years old is not old, especially since they said he's been posting music since 2021. This is 2025. So since he was about 15 or 16 years old, he's been posting music. It said he began releasing music in 2021 with his breakout single Romantic Homicide. Hold on. Okay. We're going to come back to that. Okay, sorry. Romantic Homicide coming out next year. In the back of my mind, I unalived you. And I don't even regret it. He sings in 2022, seemingly hinting at romantic struggles. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you. Those are the lyrics. His debut album actually dropped in April of 2025, which is what I guess this tour was supporting. Here's a quote from him. I feel like my music can be viewed as myself talking to somebody or myself talking to myself. It's a love-hate relationship between the mindset that I have, like how my brain switches or the evolution of my personality and how I'm growing and maturing. It's like growing out of certain things and approaching situations differently. That same month, David offered insight into how Withered differed from his previous songs. It's definitely a resurrection type of thing. So by the end of the project, it's done, he said. That's why the last song is called Afterlife. It's the final blow, you know. I'm writing about myself and my emotions and my vulnerability. And I wasn't doing that a lot in my last couple of projects because I was homeschooled and I ain't had nothing to talk about. That's not funny. He said I was homeschooled. I just didn't have nothing to talk about. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay. It says a 15-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas was found unalive in his car. So this article is saying that David has been informed about what's happened, I'm sure. And a spokesperson for David told NBC News in September of 2025, although this quote is, I guess, before they canceled the tour. It says that he is fully cooperating with the authorities. Now, this is something that I read out. Also, this is in the article. It says that David had matching tattoos with Celeste Rivas. Police officers reportedly identified Rivas by a tattoo on her right index finger. The TMZ stated, this is what TMZ is saying. The outlet further claimed that David has the same ink on his right index finger. Rivas was first reported missing in late 2024 and allegedly had a boyfriend named David, which her mother told TMZ. It's not confirming whether Rivas' significant other was the music star David. He also allegedly had an unreleased song named after Rivas per an unconfirmed SoundCloud leak. So again, that's not confirmed. It could be AI child that is unconfirmed, but it says that allegedly he has a song named after her. Did they give an approximate of how long the girl had been deceased? I think they said over a month, but don't quote me on that either. Okay. So let's get into this second article. which talks more about Rivas, which is actually... Oh, I just got an article from the New York Daily News. It says Jimmy Kimmel was negotiating a compromise to bring his talk show back. We can read that before we get off of here. Okay. So this article is from Complex Magazine, and it is entitled, Who is Celeste Rivas Hernandez? Everything We Know So Far. And it's dated today's date. So this is probably going to be the most up-to-date, accurate information because the article is dated September the 20th. So let's read through this article, you guys. Y'all want me to share my screen? I'll share my screen. Hold on. I can share the screen. We can look at it together. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. It says, on September the 8th, Los Angeles police made a horrifying discovery. A dismembered, decomposing body in the trunk of a 2023 Tesla. The car was registered to one David Anthony Burke, better known to indie music fans as David. And the person was later identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Contrary to popular belief, the dead do tell tales. And the more we learned about the victim's identity and her apparent relationship with David, the more horrifying the story became. But who is this mysterious girl and what was her connection to David? Here's everything we know about Celeste Rivas and the terrible circumstances that connect with the indie star. All right. Celeste was from Lake Elsinore, which is about a 90-minute drive from where her body was eventually found. Apparently, she had a history of running away from home. According to one TikTok user claiming to be her cousin, she had done so at least 4 times prior. And she sometimes lived with extended family during those times. She's been described as bubbly and sweet by those who knew her. So let me say this, and again, I don't want to come off as blaming the victim in any way, shape, or form, but we got to be honest when we're having these conversations. So she allegedly is a known runaway. And it says that sometimes when she ran away from home, she was staying with extended family, which means that her mother probably knew. I know not everything, y'all, but her mother probably knew where she was, but for whatever reason, maybe her and her mom don't get along, or her and somebody else that lives in that house doesn't get along. And this is what they were doing. So she's been a runaway at least 4 different occasions, allegedly. It sounds like that this was an ongoing situation with Celeste and her family. Okay. I'm not making any excuses. I'm not saying that makes it okay for anything else to have happened to her, but if we breaking it down, y'all, let's break it down. Her mother claims she was dating someone named David at the time of her disappearance. There's a photo showing David in Lake Elsinore prior to her disappearance, only a short walk from where Celeste lived. We have photos of David with a girl who looks a lot like Celeste. They date back to the time before she went missing. And a lot of them, she's either covering her mouth or partially obscuring her face with either a designer bag or a hoodie. The clearest look we get is in this video of David, where again he's with a girl who looks a lot like Celeste, and he's answering questions on a live stream. He instructs the mods to delete the evidence of the stream once it's over. Okay, so let's click some of these hyperlinks. So here's a photo of David. That is a woman that may or may not be Celeste. It says Celeste and David don't let me sleep. Okay, that's what the caption says on the picture. All right, let's look at this next one. Oh, y'all can't see it when I change screens. Hold on. I forgot. Y'all can't see it when I change screens. I'll show y'all in a second. Hold on. Let me see this. Here's another one of her allegedly covering her mouth. So let me show y'all these. Hold on. Let me stop sharing and let me share some of these pictures. I forgot y'all can't see the pictures when I change tabs like that. Hold on. Here's one picture. They're saying that is allegedly her. covered her face with a designer bag. Let's look at the other picture. Oops. Let's look at this second picture. This allegedly is, again, you see the caption says, Celeste and David, don't let me sleep. So that's allegedly the two of them in that picture. Okay. Can we tell the date of the Discord? All right. So let's look at, this is a video. This is taking a, okay, hold on. This took me to TMZ. Give me a second. I'm going to just, again, I'm sharing the picture. It's a video, but I'm not going to share the video. You get the point of what it is. You can see this right here. Yeah, see it? This is a still picture from the stream that allegedly Celeste was on the stream with David. So that's a still frame. Now, according to this article, he instructed his team to delete the stream after it was over, which sort of makes me feel like that is there's a presence of guilt there. If all of this is true, for you to be deleting things, for her to be covering her face and things like that, I mean, you know, let's keep reading. So if it's Celeste, it seems the people in his entourage knew he was seeing an underage girl. And that's probably another reason why they posted that message, but we'll read it again in a second. Beyond visual evidence, there is text evidence of a relationship. Yes, there is. On the David Discord server, there are flirtatious interactions between David and Celeste that go back to 2022. If this is the same Celeste, that means she was 11 years old at the time of the interactions. There are also interactions between fans in which they speculate that David's girlfriend is named Celeste. On September the 19th, the Discord moderator posted a message. That's the message that we read yesterday. We'll read it again. Essentially confirming the validity of the messages and claiming that he didn't know Celeste was underage. You see what I'm saying? I said the same thing yesterday. I said, by you posting that message, you're basically acknowledging that, yes, it's the same Celeste. Yes, she's underage. Yes, something nefarious went down, but I didn't have nothing to do with it. But we'll read that message again. Let's finish reading through this article, honey. There's also a video from January of 2024 in which David tags a user with the name 0907. September the 7th is Celeste's birthday. Ciao. Hey, baby blue Prada shoes. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, everybody. Oh, I never did. Hold on. Let me share the article again. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Let me finish going to the article. Okay. And if that wasn't enough, pictures surfaced of the two sharing matching tattoos. Celeste has a tattoo on her right index finger, which is partially how the authorities were able to identify her body. David also has a tattoo on his right index finger. Before you ask, yes, the tat could be a coincidence. For example, Rihanna also has this tattoo, which has now become popular. But TMZ scoured through photos and they noticed something interesting. David did not have this tattoo on his finger up through August of 2024, which means he got it after Celeste went missing in April of 2024. That still doesn't prove there's a connection between the two of them, but it's something. Ciao. So he got that allegedly got that tattoo after she went missing last year. Well, listen, can we all agree that she was only missing from her family? Clearly somebody knew who she was, but okay. Well, what about those songs that David allegedly wrote about Celeste? There's a D4vid demo which leaked in December of 2023 that's actually named Celeste. And the lyrics discuss his obsession with a girl named Celeste. Here are some of the lyrics. Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Other songs that include possible Celeste references are Hello Kitty Shirt, which include the lyrics, tell me where you want it, tell me if it hurts. Well, that don't mean it's about Celeste. Now, see, y'all stretching it now. Now, the one with her name in it, that's a different kind. But come on now, y'all stretching it. Y'all are stretching it. There's the Romantic Homicide music video, which was released in September 2022. It dropped before Celeste went missing, but it has extremely ominous imagery, including David looking at the body of a bloodied girl in a bed. And then there's the rehab video in which David's anime avatar, oh gosh, dismembers a girl. David, sir, this is not looking good, sir. Let's finish reading this article. What have the people in Celeste's orbit said about all of this? Aside from the mom's interview with TMZ, there's a DM conversation purportedly with Celeste's brother. He believes that David unalived his sister. He says that his sister wanted to wait until she was 18 to get married. Lastly, he claims that he reported this all to the police, but they didn't follow up. Now, that goes back to the question somebody asked me yesterday about where were the police? Sounds like allegedly the brother said he did tell the police and the police did not follow up. A teacher also went viral. We talked about this yesterday for claiming that he taught Celeste before she went missing. In the video taken by a student during one of his classes, he claims that she actually ran away to Hollywood a prior time in order to be with David, whom she met online, but that the police tracked her down and returned her to her mother. Okay, so let's talk about, maybe this is where the Hello Kitty comes into place. I'm seeing a lot of references to Hello Kitty. In some of these videos and photos, the girl who looks like Celeste is wearing Hello Kitty gear, including Hello Kitty Crocs. And according to her missing poster, Hello Kitty Crocs or sandals were the last thing that Celeste was wearing before she disappeared. Okay, well, a lot of girls wear Hello Kitty, but I see where y'all are trying to make the connection. Okay. Hello Kitty is an ongoing visual motif for David. There are numerous photos of him wearing Hello Kitty merchandise, and he's used the Hello Kitty avatar, including a This video ain't gonna get monetized. This video is not gonna get monetized, but we might as well just keep going down, including a bloody one on social media. And then there are the random videos where he talks about a Hello Kitty girl that he met in 2021, and he alludes to torture, pouring boiling water if he catches her looking at other boys. Okay, so I take back what I said about the Hello Kitty. I take it back. Authorities located a corpse on September the 17th, with the police announcing that the body belonged to the 15-year-old girl. But the age is determined by the date that the police found her. Celeste Rivas Hernandez actually went missing on April the 4th of 2024, over 17 months ago. And at that time she went missing, she was not 15 years old. She was 13 years old. We do not. Okay, so what now? Is David guilty and has he been arrested? We don't know that for sure, and it doesn't look good so far. On September the 17th, police executed a search warrant on an address less than 2 blocks from where the Tesla was initially found. Although David does not own this specific house, he had been living there. The police were looking for blood evidence, according to TMZ. As for his career, the pieces have already begun to fall. The Interscope discontinuing his promotion. Clearly, this fiasco is far from being over. We'll be updating this story as it develops. Oh, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Hibiscus Rose. I know. Thank you. Appreciate it. Because, baby, all of that talking about death and blood and all that stuff, child, YouTube gonna be like, I don't know about this one. But thank you, my love. Thank you for the super chat. Listen, y'all. This is not looking good. Now, I'm gonna read the message from the moderator of the chat again. I mean the Discord. I'm gonna read what the moderator had to say. And again, on one hand, I understand why the moderator would be like, look, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I want to be very clear. I don't have anything to do with this. And like I told y'all yesterday, I feel like the police have reached out to them, and maybe that's why they felt the need to make a statement. I would suggest, and I'm not even saying this to be funny, if that were me, I would just suggest that you might want to invest in calling an attorney and just getting some advice. Certainly, if the police reach out, don't you show up without an attorney, because this don't sound good. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably not going to take a lot for the police. I'm gonna be honest, they have a lot of circumstantial evidence, it seems like. Circumstantial is not hard evidence, but they have a lot of circumstantial evidence. And y'all know that one of the rumors is that allegedly she was pregnant. So when the autopsy results come out, that'll be something very easy for them to, even with her body being decomposed, or in the process of decomposition, they will be able to determine if she was pregnant or not. And they might even be able to say how far along she was. But certainly they'll be able to that's something that they can determine. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you too for the super chat. For the Cash App. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love how y'all love me. So I'm gonna read y'all what the moderator said, and then we're gonna have a hard conversation. We're gonna have a hard conversation because, see, we're gonna come back to the parents. I saw somebody in the chat say something about the parents. We're gonna come back to the parents. All right. So let's read this again. Tracy, you sent it to me, so I have it right here. Hold on. Lord. All right, here we go. So it says, to the members of this server, this is from the Discord. We, the Discord and Twitch staff team, want to clarify what we knew and didn't know regarding Celeste. We were not aware of her true age or that she was a missing person. We also did not have any contact with her outside of what was public. From what was shared on David's Twitch streams and from her role in the server, we understood her to be around 18 or 19. She has appeared on 2 streams, but otherwise was not active in the server, and we did not have ongoing communication with her. Most of us are not located in California, so we were not aware of any missing person reports connected to her. Additionally, the staff team has had minimal contact with David or his management. The mention of her full name within the server was not seen in real time due to how fast the chat moves when David pings everyone. As a result of this situation, The majority of the staff and team have left the server, and we no longer associate with David. We do not support his actions in any capacity. Our priority has always been the well-being of members of this community. We are deeply saddened by the situation and extend our prayers to Celeste's family. May she rest in peace and may her family receive justice. To support her family directly, there's the link, and they have, like I told you yesterday, they have a GoFundMe. Rest in peace, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Let me tell you what the line in this statement that really is ding 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 for me is this one right here. We do not support his actions in any capacity. That is telling me that you already think this man is guilty. What you mean you don't support his actions? Nothing has been confirmed about any of his actions. There's a lot of circumstantial, unless y'all know something we don't know. You see what I'm saying? Unless y'all know something that we don't know, what actions? We don't support his actions, which tells me that you know something. You know something about his actions. That's what that says to me. Now, let's talk about these parents for a second. Your child has been running away from home. If she's 14, almost 15 now, or prior to her being deceased. And she allegedly met David when she was 11. Allegedly. We have to start there and we have to work our way forward. Y'all remember, and this is all allegedly. Let me be clear. Allegedly. But y'all remember Marcus Houston from Immature? Y'all remember Marcus Houston, who allegedly was dating his now wife prior to her becoming legal, and she was a runaway? Y'all remember that she was reported a runaway by her family? And all of a sudden, once she turned 18, it was, hey, here I am, because she was 18. And then next thing you know, they got married. And as far as I know, they still together. I don't know what's going on with them, child. I don't know. But y'all remember that? She was a runaway too, until she was legal. Lake Elsinore is an affluent community not too far from where, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I drive there often. Okay, so this is an affluent community. Okay, so I guess the point I'm trying to make here, I ain't making no point. We just talking. I guess the conversation that I'm having here is, I have to start at the family and question, why is your 14-year-old child running away from home? Now, that doesn't mean they did something wrong. We know that sometimes kids they just bullheaded. Sometimes, especially girls, they think they're in love, and the parents say, wait a minute, what are you talking about? This boy is 18 years old, or 16 years old, or 17 years old. He's too old for you. You're 11. That's not acceptable. And she might have said, I love him and he loves me. And they went on off and did their own thing, right? It could be a lot of reasons why she ran away from home. But I have to question a child that is 13 years old and already has a reputation with the police, that she has run away from home 3 to 4 times. See, we got to start there. Wait a minute. Thank you. I am Diva Nicole. Thank you. Yeah. Not look ingrown for dude. He's too. Wait a minute. Hold on, Lord. It's not looking. You said I'm gonna just say it ain't looking good for the dude. Here's to help make up for that month. Thank you, boo. Cause yeah, but it's okay. We here to talk about it. I have to start there, and this is what I'm gonna say. In some situations, we know that the police, not looking good. Thank you, boo. Not looking good for him. In some situations, we know that the police just don't do their job. So can we put that to the side and pin that as sometimes the police just don't do their effing job. But can we put that to the side for a second? And can we just talk about assuming for a minute that the brother went to the police? By this time, if the police had already looked for this child 3 or 4 times already, and they've already returned her to her mama at least once we know of, according to that article, at least once we know of, I'm going to just go on and tell you, they're not going to keep looking for your child and bringing her home. They're just not going to keep doing it. Now, if the brother went to the police and said, I believe that this is where she is, and this person is 17 and she's 12 or 13, or he's whatever the age gap is, and this is where she is, and she met him online and the police didn't follow up, well, now I do have to side out a popo on this one. Somebody said they don't look for black and brown girls. You're right. You know they don't put the same resources into black and brown girls that they put into white girls. That's a fact. We know it. That's been a proven statistic, okay? So already add that they don't put a whole lot of effort into looking for our girls, but it sounds like the police would look for her at least once because they brought her home. And then she turned around and she ran away again. For her to have a reputation that she has run away from home 3 to 4 times and she wasn't even 14 yet, that's concerning. That is concerning. And I'm going to be honest with you, and this is my opinion. This is not a fact. I don't know this to be a fact, but this is 100% my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the family know way more than what they're saying. I believe they know more than what they're saying. And again, that doesn't negate what happened to their child. It doesn't negate the brutality of what happened to their child. It doesn't negate any of that. But I do think they know more than what they're saying. Let me say this. Now, I ain't gonna say that because that's me. I'm assuming a lot. I don't know. But it just seems to me that she was on live streams and they were posting social media pictures. And I just feel like you know more. I just feel like the family knows more. V-Bay, where you been? I haven't seen you in a while, V-Bay. V-Bay, I agree with what you just said. So V-Bay said he wasn't the first one she had an encounter with. There was a guy named Gus. Now listen, I wasn't gonna say that, but I was thinking that I don't think David would have been the first person that this has happened with. Listen, I feel like Celeste was out there. Can we just listen? I don't want to speak ill of the deceased, and certainly not of a minor, but I feel like Celeste was a wild child. I just do. That again, that does not make anything that happened to her okay. A lot of kids are wild child and they get their life together and they become, very, and she could have been as well. She was young. She had plenty of time to get on track. Okay. So I'm not saying that, but I'm not, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything. She deserves it. But what I am saying is I feel like she was a wild child. There's no record of an Amber Alert for her that speaks volumes. Ooh, interesting. I would now. Listen again. I would. We just talking out loud. Shut up, Tracy. I would question. I would like to know. I would like to know what efforts they put into finding her in this last 17 months. I would like to know, were they missing person posters? Did they post on social media? How often did they post on social media? How often did the family go down to the police station and inquire about where they were and what they were looking for and what they knew and what they didn't know? Again, I'm not saying that I'm not blaming nobody. We just have questions. Somebody asked me earlier, do I think the manager did it? I don't think that if anybody in that circle did it, I don't think it was the manager. And here's the reason why. If the manager did it to try to protect him, then why would you put the body in his car that you know the police are gonna find. You ain't even parked the car away from the house. You parked the car 2 blocks from the house that allegedly he was living in. So if the manager did it, I don't think if the manager's motive was to try to protect him, you did a job of doing that. You didn't even drive the car to the other side of town. You just drove it 2 blocks from the house. And again, I'm sure this was an affluent neighborhood where they were living. I'm sure they have cameras. See, here's what the police ain't telling us. You know they have cameras on these streets. They probably can. I can't say for a fact. Y'all know I look at a lot of true crime, but I would not be surprised if they have been able to pull street cam footage to see at least part of the trip of that Tesla the night that Tesla was abandoned. The fact that the Tesla was only 2 blocks from the house where allegedly David was living, the person probably drove the Tesla and then walked back home. They probably have footage at some point in them 2 blocks. And I promise you they didn't pull that footage. Teslas absolutely have cameras. Oh yeah, the whole history of that Tesla can be downloaded. When it was driven, where it went, how far, all that. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. They can download that whole hard drive of that damn Tesla. Everything. And depending on how far you have set up your Tesla. For example, my best friend, she has a Tesla, and she has it set up so they're the settings for her, and then they're the settings for her husband. So when her husband uses the car, it's a different seat setting, it's a different temperature setting. You know, you can program all of that stuff. So I say all that to say this: they can even find out who allegedly was even driving the car based on the settings of the person that got in the car to drive it. They can see if anybody else has ever driven the car. They might say, well, no one has ever driven a car but the owner, David. I mean, it's a lot they can see. The Tesla was the wrong car, baby, because whole lot of shit they can do with that Tesla to be able to pull out information. Marquise Houston filed for divorce last month. Look at that. Thank you, Sissy, for that update. I thought I had heard they were having marital problems, but I wasn't following it, so I just didn't remember. Yeah, I think the police are building a case. I believe an arrest will be made after all the last. Yeah, ocean dreaming. I said I feel like within the next, I give it about another week, maybe. Baby, the fact that, let me tell you what else is very interesting. The fact that the police have been so quiet. See, when the police are quiet, that's when they make me nervous. The police ain't saying shit. Police ain't saying nothing. I anticipate, like I told y'all before, I anticipate an indictment and an arrest within the next week or so. I don't see, baby, we might get an arrest before the end of the month. I don't see, listen. And it honestly just sounds very, it just sounds, I don't want to use the word sloppy because I feel like I don't want nobody to feel like I'm trying to say, oh, they should have done it better. Like, I don't think they should have done it at all, whoever did it. But if David really did do it, he was just very. But here's my question. What was David's plan, and why didn't his Discord members not notice that Celeste was no longer active? Well, they said that somebody would come in there under a different handle, so maybe she didn't come in under Celeste. But I don't know Discord well enough to know how well you would know. Because like over here, like I would notice if Xavier wasn't here for a month. I'd be like, what the hell is Xavier, y'all? But then there's some people that drop down here and there, and I may not notice until they pop up again. I'm like, I haven't seen you in a while. But there's certain people that I would notice if they weren't here for more than a couple of days. You know what I mean? I understand everybody has a life and everybody can't make every live, but there's some of y'all within a couple of days, y'all gonna be here. If I go live 5 times, you're gonna be here 2. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, wait a minute. Look at Tracy. I can't wait to pull that indictment. You know it's gonna be in California. You know, California is tricky. Abby say she means me. No, I don't, because look, Abby, I can call you and be like, first of all, I know half the time, child, you be doing what you're doing. I know you've been working and stuff like that. This Discord, I'm in love. I mean, excuse me, this Discord I'm in has thousands. Yeah, I mean, it's, to me, Discord. Again, I have a Discord account, but I've never used it. Like, I downloaded Discord and that was pretty much it. I've never gone into Discord, but because I only downloaded it to get my name. I only downloaded so I could get ReallyBTV. That was it. I never used Discord. Even when El Teddy moved his group chat to Discord, I was like, well, I guess I'll see y'all on the other side. But from my understanding of Discord, you can, and especially if somebody like a artist like that, he has 3 million followers on TikTok. I can only imagine how many Discord members he has. So I'm not going to fault moderators for not noticing if somebody wasn't around, especially if she wasn't literally not coming in under her name. If she was coming in under other things, she might have had more than one burner account. You know, some people have 3 or 4 accounts they come on. They go into different places. So she may have come in under different names. But trust and believe, they pulling all of that information. They're pulling all of that data. Again, that Tesla might be it, honey. I forgot about that. I forgot about how the Tesla can download all that stuff. The footage from the house, around the house, the street. And like I said, if they find a cell phone, which I'm sure she didn't have a cell phone with her, but if they can connect a cell phone to her or an account to her, I'm gonna be honest and tell y'all, and this is my opinion. I don't know this to be a fact, y'all. This is just me and my own thought process. I will be shocked. I will be shocked to find out that this young lady hadn't talked to her family in 17 months. I'd be shocked that she has been radio silent for 17 months. First of all, she was only an hour and a half away from her damn house. Second of all, it sounds like sometimes when she ran away, she would stay with other family members. I refuse to believe right now. Now, the police can tell me different, but until I read that indictment, as of right now, I refuse to believe that that young lady has not had contact with anybody in her family in the last 17 months. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't believe it. The account has been wiped from the Discord. Well, they can listen. They can subpoena that and get those records. So whatever they thought they getting out of the child, they can get them. They can get all them records back. From what I'm looking at now, her last message was in January of 2024. She really didn't comment much, so her absence wouldn't have looked out of place. Yeah, I thank you to Sims Overdose. Thank you. I agree. I believe the brother talked to her because of the way that he spoke in those messages. Pull that brother's phone. She might not talk to her mom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. May not be her mom, but that's why I say her family. That's why I say her family. I refuse to believe she ain't talked to her family in 17 months. And here's what I will also want to say. Where's the truancy report? The teacher got so much to say about what he knew and what he didn't know. Did the school file a truancy report? Was there an Amber Alert? Were there some missing posters? Can we find it down to the Instagram where her family members posted her missing on Instagram? See, these are the questions I had because my 13-year-old child come up missing, and I suspect that she done ran away with a boy. Baby, we turning over rocks. Sims Overdose says it's not wiped. He said he's looking at the messages. Schools don't care either with runaways because nobody's seen face. She was gone. So let me say this. I'm not going to say the schools don't care. What I'm going to say is if a student is missing, if a student is truant and they're not coming to school and they're being marked absent, there's a policy that the schools have to follow. I'm not going to say that the schools don't care. What I am going to say is legally there's a policy that they have to follow. If I have students that are missing and we've tried to make contact with the parent and we can't make contact with the parent, or the parent keeps giving us bullshit, then we have to file a report with the police. And we have to file a truancy report with the district. Like there's paperwork that has to be done to track this child, right? If the child is marked as a runaway, then that still should be in the school record to say the mother said that the child was a runaway, and here is the paperwork. You see what I'm saying? You can't just be like, oh, the child ain't here. I mean, right now we're dealing with that right now. We've been in school for 4 weeks, and we're at this point now, we're at the process now of where we're getting ready to start tracking some of these kids who didn't show up. Like, you registered your child and they never showed up to school. Where's this child? I had a student who I have yet to see. I emailed the parent. The parent responded to me and said some bullshit about she's been sick. Not she's like, not she's been sick. But this how I know the mama was lying, because the mama said, I understand that you were concerned. I'm paraphrasing. I understand that you're concerned about her not being in school, but she's been ill. But I'm going to talk to her and tell her that she needs to come to your class. So then which one is it? Is she sick and not in school, or is she not sick and in school and just not coming to my class? See what I'm saying? So if the school, if this child has not, if she was registered in school, and like the teacher said that she was a runaway, they went and got her one time, brought her back, and then she ran away again. Where's the paperwork from the school? Because again, if a parent can't just say, oh, she ran away. That's not how that works. I thought I had something in my teeth. You can't just say she ran away. That's because at the end of the day, the school can take a parent to court for educational neglect. Parents can lose their kids based on, right? We're mandated reporters. Parents have lost their kids because of that. That is called educational neglect. So there has to be paperwork. So I'm saying all of those things to say this, the police might not be going down that road, because at this point we passed that now. Like, we're beyond whether the parent reported it or not. We're dealing with the unaliving. However, as the police continue to do their investigation and they start stumbling across some things that the parents did not do, the parents could be charged. The parents could absolutely be charged. And especially if we find out that the parents or family members knew where she was. In North Texas, they send a sheriff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They do it. Listen, when I in DC now where I work now, well, no, I shouldn't say that. They do home visits too. But baby, when I was doing my internship I told you I have my administrator's license. When I did my internship for administration, that was one of the things I was in charge of doing. I was in charge of finding these kids. And I was doing my internship at an elementary school. And when I say literally, some of the kids lived across the street, and I'm not exaggerating, literally, I could look out the front door of the school and look at the address of the house I'm looking for. I'm like, and you go knock on the door, knock. Why Johnny ain't in school? Right. So if the school reported and told the police and that missing flyer came out 17 months ago, then what? The police don't question or look for her. Makes me think she spoke to them and David paid them. Now you jump into a lot of conclusions, Sierra. So let me go back to the beginning of what you said. You said, so if the school reported it and told the police and that missing flyer came out 17 months ago, then what? So let me stop there. So if the parents did everything they were supposed to do and the school did everything they were supposed to do, then yes, the police dropped the ball if the police didn't go out and look for her. But I'm not going to jump to the conclusion that they were being paid off, because again, we cannot overlook the fact that this child is a runaway and that she has constantly done this 3 or 4 times. We can't, again, I'm not making an excuse for the police, but what I'm saying is there are layers to this story. This isn't a cut and dry black and white story. There are layers to this story. In that article, it says that this child, this child has run away at least 4 times. She's not even 15 years old yet. So in the last however many years, she keeps running away. The police go find her, bring her home, and she runs away again. The police find her and bring her home, and she runs away again. At a certain point, no, the police are not going to make her a priority anymore. They're not. And I'm not saying that makes it okay. I'm not defending the police. We're just going to talk about what happens. It's like the boy that cried wolf. At a certain point, the police are going to look at the mama and say, why the fuck you can't keep your kid at home? Let's just call a thing a thing. This is an SVU episode. It's a sad SVU episode. Yeah, Gabby, y'all know how the girls are when they lose their virginity, child. If that's what happened. You know, so I hear what you're saying, Sierra, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying we can't just jump to the conclusion that the police got paid off, because I don't think it's that deep. I think that a lot of elements were in place that unfortunately led to what happened. You said he was living in the Hollywood Hills. I don't think I'm jumping by saying he paid the family. Oh, you're saying he paid the family? Oh, I thought you were saying he paid the police. My bad. Hold on. Let me rewind. Rewind. You're saying the family. I could see that. Now that I could walk with you on, Sierra. I thought you were saying the police. No, the family, I can definitely walk with you on that one. I can walk with you on the family being caught up in this bullshit. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, that I can walk with you on. I can absolutely walk with you on that one. And you're right. And all this is speculation. You're right. That's all we're doing. But I will say this. If and when that indictment comes down, we're gonna be here. We're going to be here to talk about it. We're going to read what that indictment says, and that might answer a whole lot of questions. A whole lot of questions. All right, y'all. We about to get out of here. This wasn't going to be long. I just wanted to, because we had a lot of questions yesterday, and I don't know if we got a lot of answers, but I think we got a lot more information. I'm getting ready to do a quick test. I think I've been able to link Twitch, so we're going to do a quick test. I'm about to come back live in a few minutes and see if I'm on Twitch. So if you are on Twitch, can you go ahead and subscribe to me now? So when I go live in a few minutes, I have it pinned at the top of the screen. I have my TikTok and my Twitch tagged at the top. So if you are on Twitch, if you guys could subscribe so that when I go live in a few minutes, you can let me know if I did it right, or we can figure it out from there. Okay. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Well, I will talk to y'all in a few minutes. Peace.